1.21 gigawatts. So we're making the Time Machine DeLorean. The first thing we're using is... Wait. This is a model that I bought. It is a 1/24 scale Back to the Future from Jada Toys Inc., City of Industry, California. City of Industry, California Toy Company makes me think this is actually just Universal Studios merchandise toy company. But it's a good little model. It's metal. It's got a really good amount of detail. It's got this. Check it. Oh, yeah. And it's 1/24 scale, so it's about the right size for the people and the train and everything. The train is my Bachmann Big Haulers narrow gauge G-scale 460 old-timey looking locomotive. It's not exactly like the one in the movie, but it's what I have, and it's what we're going to use. Next, we got the people. Like I said before, these are like a resin cast people. And if they were plastic, they'd be a little easier to mess with, but I think we'll still get okay. Just like the car, I downloaded some pictures of what the characters look like. Excuse me. This is going to be Marty in the car. Yes, this is a kid with a balloon, but I got him because he's already sitting sideways. So we'll put like a radio in his hand. He'll be like, "Hey, Doc, the red line's about to blow." That's not a good Marty impression. I know. And then we got Clara, and she'll be in the train. There's Clara. Can you see Clara? Hi. She should be pretty easy. Maybe we'll put her arm out. We got to get rid of her hat because she's not wearing a hat, and then we'll repaint her dress and stuff. And I might actually have to, sounds bad, but cut off part of her leg because she'll be like leaning out the window, you know. Hello. And then we got Doc Brown. Doc Brown's going to be hanging on the side of the train. And this figure, his toes are bent up. So I think maybe he's supposed to be like laying down or doing something. I don't know what this figure was supposed to be. But we can fix his feet. We can get him hanging on the train. I might turn his head. And again, he's going to lose his hat because his hair is blowing in the wind. And he gets a longer trench coat. And then we'll get him painted up. We're going to modify the people and make them more what we need, but here's what we're starting with. So I started taking the model apart. The first thing I got to do is figure out how to put train wheels on the car. That's really the key to this whole thing. Now, I'm not the first to do this. Hundreds of people have done this, probably better than I'm gonna, but this is how I figured out how to do it. How you figured out, or how anyone else figured out, maybe something else. So the wheels come off, and they're on these. They unscrew from the bottom of the car. There's these little pegs and holes where they fit. Now there's these little flashing marks along here, and looking at the model, I actually hoped that's where they came apart, because then you would just swap out this axle, settle for the train axle, and that would be great. But they don't. These are like a molded piece, and then they put the thing in there. So what I did was I went on Tinkercad and I made my own little 3D piece. Haha. And it fits just like the original, but it's a little narrower, one because of the wheels, and two, it holds the other axle. Now I did a couple different versions of this. I had to tweak it a little bit, and I'll probably end up putting the file online in case you're doing the same thing and want to use it. But here's the thing. Here's my disclaimer to the whole thing. If I was selling this file or something, I would need to tweak it just a little bit more. Because somewhere in adjusting, half a millimeter here or 3/10 there, or it got a little weird. It got a little crooked. It got a little cattywampus, and it doesn't fall right in. I don't know what I did. I messed up something. It works. It works okay, but it takes a little finagling, a little get it in there. So if you do download this file, just know that it's kind of there. I was able to use it and make it happen. 1.21 gigawatts. So while I was redesigning and reprinting those axle carriage holder things, I went ahead and started with the interior since I had the car apart. I wanted to add a little bit more detail. The model's good, but when you look at pictures of the movie one and you know, other ones in real life, there's other stuff in there. There's cable bundles, and there's the little gauges and buttons and stuff, and so I was just adding a little bit of that. I can't find my paintbrushes. I got a million paintbrushes, but the ones I need, the little tiny ones, I don't know what I did with. They're not in the paint box. They're not with the other paint stuff. They're not with craft stuff. They're not the tool stuff. They're not with the Dremel craft stuff. They're not with the other craft stuff. Where are they? Do I gotta go buy paintbrushes? Man. Yesterday we got the interior pretty much done for the most part. I worked on the wheels and the axles. So I took apart the train wheels. These are LGB, I don't know, they're metal with like a plastic spokey middle. They seem like they're 30 millimeters-ish across the part that it rides on. Anyway, I pulled them off the axle, and there's this little knurled nub part that holds onto the plastic. So I put that on the lathe. I could have done it on a drill, I guess, but put it on the lathe, filed it down, and polished it so that when it goes through the new piece, it's not spinning on the knurled parts. It's got a nice smooth surface right there, and then I can still put the wheels a little bit on the edges of the knurls and probably glue them in place and whatnot. So today I'm going to work on getting the assemblies back together. This is the old one. We're making the new ones. Again, these pieces I printed, they're almost perfect. There's like a 0.5 millimeter off somewhere, but it's close enough that I can get it into place and that type of a thing. And they're going to work great. And I printed them out of PETG so that I can eventually put a little grease or lube or something on the axle part and not have to worry about that soaking in and deteriorating the plastic. That's where we're at. This is a good time to show you my cool workbench coffee cup holder. Whoop. This cup doesn't really fit in it. Whoop. Also a good time to remind you to like and subscribe. Well, like if you're watching a video and you like it. Subscribe if you like to see other stuff. If you don't want to, it's okay. take that back. It's not okay. You gotta do it. You gotta do it. Now the sound is out in this clip. I don't know why, but I'm pretty sure what I'm talking about here is there's, on the inside of the wheels, there's these little insulator extensions. And I gotta cut those off at chew, so that the wheels spin on the axle instead of the little nubs on the outside of the wheel. So when I slide them back on the axle, I got to make sure that they're the right distance apart to fit the train track and everything as if they were still on there. Yeah, pretty sure it's something like that. All right, now we got our wheel assemblies pretty dialed in. Know pretty much how we're mounting the wheels. I was originally thinking I would have to print little hubcappy things to kind of bring the wheel out more towards the edge of the fenders of the car to look right. You know, it's the difference between in the movie and then the actual gauge of the tracks for G-scale. But holding them up to the car, I actually think they're going to be pretty good. Yeah, so now that we got these and we got them spaced right to fit on the track, whee! Yeah, we got to fit them into the car. We got to cut a little bit out of the bottom chassis piece right here, and then we got to cut a little bit out of the gray underside of the interior kind of piece. There's like wheel wells, and you don't want to just cut the whole things out, because especially with the wheels sunk in, you want as much of that there as possible to look finished. Now when I started this, before I started this, I had taken some pictures of the DeLorean, and I posted on a G-Scale or a Garden Trains Facebook group, and I said, oh man, I'm doing a DeLorean. And they're a friendly group. I got a lot of comments back. Oh man, I got that same one, or I've been wanting to do that. And pretty much the biggest question that they asked us is, what all did you have to cut out? What all did you have to cut out? That was the most consistent. Oh, I'm interested in that. What did you have to cut out? So, okay, we got our wheels. We got our things. And they go in. I cut out in the bottom part to open up for the inside of the train wheels. All right, right to about this little cross member piece here, and then about that same distance up here in front. This opening here is original. I didn't cut anything out of the edge. Everything was just on the inside. And then in the back, you can see sort of the same thing. From the inside of the bumper here was as far as I needed to go, and then I went in just to the little nubs and the screw places for the thing. And then in the front, I went right up to this little cross beam type thing there. I did not cut anything out of the outside of the opening. On the gray part, the bottom side of the interior, I could kind of finish these a little bit, but see, I did not cut anything out of the outside of the wheel wells. That's all still fine, but I did have to go ahead and notch out here and trim down just there was little curves right here where it was like right behind the tire. It's pretty much just that curve is what I took off. And then in the front, almost the same thing. I did have to take these corners off right here, and then boom. I didn't take anything from the outside. Hope that helps. And the process for that was, I mean, really just a lot of putting it together and taking it apart. You got a little bit of side play in the wheels, and I left that there specifically so they would never bind. They may move a little bit when it goes around the track, and I just wanted a good amount of space. I went in little baby steps, tried not to make any rash decisions and cut too much off too soon. And eventually, that's what I wallowed it out to. If you do a different mounting system than these, then, you got your own thing going on. But these wheels, did I say before, these wheels that I got, these are LGB. They're metal on the outside, they're plastic and spoked. I got them mostly because they're spoked, and that's what the ones in the movie were. And they are 30 millimeters to the lip that you ride on, and then they stick out farther from there. And they seem to fit. They seem to fit really well. Hey, not too bad.
Do I have a hot glue gun? Maybe. That one will do. That's even got some glue in it. Little double do ya. I'm gonna glue these down back here as well. Oh wait, or can I? Does that come out? That doesn't come out. I'm gonna glue these together so they don't shake down and get in the way of the wheels now that the wheel wells are cut away. Okay, and here you can see why we wanted to keep those wheel wells. They look good in there. Oh yeah. Ta 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 ta. as it flies by at 88 miles an hour, it'll look great.
All right, and it's back together. Ta, 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 ta. Oh, wait. Ta, 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 ta. Or, yeah, it goes up. Anyway, that's it. One other thing, I don't know if I showed in this video or not, I painted the circuitry on the front. The little vacuum tubes and stuff. It was all chrome. It was like kind of one plasticky chrome piece, and that kind of toned it down a little bit. If I didn't show it this one, I will show it in the next one because we have more to do. We have people. We got a couple things to do to the train. We got a lot more, and then of course we got to run this thing. So thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it as always. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Ha ha! I gotta go to work. Ugh. Work really gets in the way of these things. Ugh. $1.21 gigawatts.